Hey everybody, welcome back to Mama Vic channel. Now, I'd like to thank all those that continue interacting with this channel, all those that are always viewing this channel. Guys, I'd like to thank you so much. If you're new to this channel, welcome to the Mama Vic channel. We like to view cryptocurrencies, different use cases of digital currencies. We like to see the trend and what's going on in terms of looking at investors, where capital is flowing. We like comparing different ecosystems in terms of interoperability, in terms of value, network effects, how different cryptocurrencies are influencing the space in the way we're going and where we're going rather. So when you look at DeFi, when you look at NFTs, there's a connection. You can see these things in the beginning when you look at the research, when you look at the trend, you can catch it. You just need to know where it's going to be. For example, things like synthetic assets, when you look at lending and borrowing, these are still things that are developing in the crypto space, but you know that they're going to be really significant. And that's why for these things to move, you need network effect, you need liquidity, you need a lot of attention around certain projects and around certain things. And one of the greatest motivators in this space is liquidity, is money, is different incentives that are provided. So if you're new to the crypto space, a best way to look at the general overview of the cryptocurrency space and what's happening there, you can look at places like CoinMarketCap. Some people use CoinGecko. So if you look at CoinMarketCap, it lists these cryptocurrencies in terms of market capitalization, where they multiply the current circulating supply of that particular digital currency times its current market price, and that gives you the market capitalization. And when you look at that hierarchy, that's how you come up with Bitcoin in the number 1 position, Ethereum number 2. I know most of you know this: Binance Coin, Tether, Solana, Cardano, XRP. Now, if you briefly look at the technology of what these cryptocurrencies are doing, like Bitcoin is the OG, Ethereum, smart contracts, Binance Chain, smart contracts, Tether, stablecoin, which is extremely liquid, Solana, smart contracts, Cardano, smart contracts, XRP, liquidity and interoperability and basically connecting money in different ecosystems, stablecoin, interoperability, Dogecoin, meme coin, Avalanche, smart contracts, Shiba Inu, meme coin, Terra Luna, being able to mint stablecoins in a decentralized way. So basically, these coins are here because of a particular use cases that gave them that network effect. So CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, other platforms, that's a good way to kind of quickly look at them. We have Polygon, so you can look at the top 100 and so on. So the markets have been kind of moving up, which is, I don't know if it's good or bad. Hopefully it's not a bull trap, it's not a bear trap rather, where it seems like the prices are going up and then the bulls sell, hence crashing the market again. Sometimes it's also referred to as a dead cat bounce. So the markets are in a bear market, they bounce back. But hopefully, I prefer if we're in sort of a consolidation, a flat movement in the market price. But that's the current state of the cryptocurrencies, at least the top ones. So if we look into some news today, that's what we're going to cover. Coinbase will establish presence in Israel through purchase of Unbound Security, which is an organization which focuses on cryptography. So you can see we've long recognized Israel as a hotbed of strong technology and cryptography talent, and are excited to continue to grow our team with some of the best and brightest minds in these fields, say Coinbase. So of course it's these companies continue to buy other companies that are more focused on the type of use case that they're looking for. Coinbase is a custodian. It's an exchange, but it's an exchange that's kind of like a wallet. So they need to make sure their security is on point, using Faraday cages, using cold storage and all these kinds of things. But they need to make sure their hot wallets are also extremely secure, given the type of value that they secure. So for them to partner with Israel is kind of known for security because of the kind of geographical location within they're in. They have to focus, they have to focus on security. And you can see Coinbase, for some reason, can actually buy a company that's focused on cryptography in in Israel, which is going to extend their reach in Israel, but also is as a way to also extend the actual security that they can provide as based on the fundamental premise of their company. So that is the Coinbase news there. Good for them. Hopefully it works for them. Let's just leave it there. So if we look into another article, this is a company that I like, or rather a decentralized organization that I like, because I don't think enough people are bullish on DEXs and decentralized exchanges. Everyone's kind of looking at the centralized exchanges, but if you look at the leaders of the most prominent centralized exchanges, you have to know that they haven't ignored the decentralized exchanges, and we see some extreme value. Now, I'll give you an example. in a centralized exchange, you have to properly scrutinize every cryptocurrency you list. Okay, which could be a good or bad thing, which is a good thing, I think, generally. But I mean, sometimes people should be allowed to make their own mistakes. But in a decentralized exchange, you can literally list your own pair. So it's the consumer, it's up to them to just do a simple search of the particular address or contract of that token that has been listed to verify that it's a real thing out there and not just some gimmick that has been created. As a consequence, you get way more tokens listed on decentralized exchanges. And if some of these tokens become powerhouses in the future, just imagine the amount of liquidity that's going to be on top of these exchanges. So to put that in perspective, Planet Finance, I'm excited about this one. This was an article that I just found. I didn't actively look for it. But the point is, what gives them an edge for this particular platform is that their initial launch of the DEX, there were no tokens distributed to the team, but rather there were tokens there was a uneven distribution of these tokens. There were 500 distributed every day, and there were, depending on your participation on the platform, you got in. Basically, there was a transparent distribution of tokens. There were no distribution of tokens for the teams, which makes it, I think, the most decentralized exchange on the Binance Smart Chain currently. And that's all I'll say about it. You can look more into it. Planet Finance, this article describes all the different planets and what they're going to do. They're going to list an NFT marketplace soon. It's split into two tokens, the Aqua token and the Gamma token, of which the Gamma token, they both serve as utility, but with the Gamma token, you can vote on policy on this exchange. And with the Aqua token and with the Gamma token, it serves as the utility of the whole platform, lending, borrowing, and so on. So if we go into another article here, world's largest crypto asset manager Grayscale launches Solana Trust. You all know these competitors to the Ethereum network like Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, Cosmos, all these things focusing on smart contracts, even Cardano. So Grayscale is one of the biggest trusts out there that's known. You can see they list things like Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin itself, Zcash, Stellar Lumens, Basic Attention Token for the Brave browser, Litecoin, Chainlink, Livepeer, Decentraland, Filecoin, Horizon, Bitcoin Cash. So they're one of basically they manage like over $50 billion in digital currencies, and they hold the actual digital currencies. They don't own things representing the value of those digital currencies. So I thought you might be interested. Those people out there that want to invest according to what other big players are doing, this is one way to look out there. Especially if you're too busy to do your own research or if you're too afraid to invest in extremely low cap coins, you can just go with what these investors are doing. So in other news, Avalanche, which is one of the other heavily institution-based smart contracts platform, the Avalanche Ecosystem Accelerator raises $18.5 million in seed funding. So AVAX is one of the year's top crypto performers, with the likes of Three Arrows Capital and Polychain Capital supporting the proof of stake chain. Avalanche Ecosystem Accelerator Colony has raised about $18.5 million in seed investments to bootstrap the next generation of Avalanche blockchain projects, underscoring heightened demand for the proof of stake ecosystem. So obviously, this is proof of stake Avalanche. It's investing just like the Binance ecosystem. They invested in so many other projects like PancakeSwap and so many others. As a consequence, these DEXs became extremely successful, and they pushed up the use case of the Binance Smart Chain. And obviously, other ecosystems are trying to replicate that kind of thing. So that is the news with Avalanche. And some exciting news in Canada. You all know Canada is extremely aggressive as far as Bitcoin exchange traded funds are. They've been really aggressive. I think they're one of the first countries to actually list a Bitcoin ETF on their actual stock market. And we can see some interesting news here. First Bitcoin ETF to pay monthly yield launches in Canada. So I think the company that was the first, we can see Canadian investors can now receive a monthly Bitcoin yield through a new exchange traded fund listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange TSX, reported Yahoo Finance. The purpose Bitcoin yield ETF employs a derivatives based covered call strategy to pay investors a monthly yield. Of course, they're going to say that you have to take care of the risks given the volatility of the market, but they estimate the reward yearly to be between a certain percentage that would be between 10 and something, maybe 10 and 20 or 10 and 15% around there. So that's a sort of a rough estimate regardless of the volatility of the markets. So you can read more details into this. If you're in Canada, if you have access to these ecosystems, you want to play it safe, you can invest in something like that exposes you to the actual especially if you believe in the long-term potential of Bitcoin, you can also earn extra yield on this. And all this is being custodied by a platform you can trust. So I guess high net worth individuals, or if you're more risk averse, then you can go for something like that. But it's still exciting for the whole crypto space, something like that developing. So in other news, Binance CEO reveals one key factor for token listing. Actually, in this article, they talked about, actually, CEO of Binance, the world's largest blah, blah, blah. CZ went on to say that there are many other factors like the number of active addresses on blockchain, social media audiences, and audiences and code commits. However, the number of users is the key metric, he said, adding, I'm not too sure about this, guys, but I guess this is what he said. I don't know what they're referencing, but I know CZ Binance has other major metrics that they use to list tokens, including supply itself. So there's if you launch a token, guys, no matter how many users you have, like what this article is suggesting, if you have, say, a token that's 50,000 supply, I don't know if 100,000 also, that might be very small, Binance isn't going to list you. Why? The reason CZ gives is that as soon as they list these tokens, they're going to have a massive spike in price. A token is worth, like, a very limited supply token is worth, say, $200. CZ lists this, it's listed on Binance, rather it's not CZ that does it directly, rather the team. This token then shoots up to like 10,000, 20,000 in price. So they want to avoid stuff like that. That's why they look at also mostly the supply of the token, not just rather the users, like this article is saying, but it's one of the metrics as well. So it's just something you might want to look into if you're a developer. Then in other news, the UAE issues first NFT stamps in the Middle East. The United Arab Emirates has adopted a favorable approach towards crypto. Now its postal operator is issuing NFTs to commemorate National Day. Now, basically, they're looking at 4 particular designs, and they're issuing out NFTs that will reflect the actual design of these stamps. And the thing about this article is that they did not mention which network they're using. Are they using Ethereum? Are they using Solana? Are they using Polygon network? That was not stated in this article. I hope they did not go for the default. Are they using Flow blockchain? I hope they did not go for the default Ethereum like everyone is doing. I'm not going to say much about Ethereum. That's where I'm going to stop there. But I've been in the crypto space for a while, enough not to be an Ethereum sycophant. So, and I'll just keep it there. So, okay, in other news, Solana price eyes $300 as Grayscale launches Solana-backed trust. And so Grayscale strikes again. So they're launching a trust based on Solana. So we can see the headline here. The Grayscale Solana Trust would allow high net worth and institutional investors to gain indirect exposure to the year-long bullish Solana market. So this is appealing to the institutional investors, and you know what that means. Either you're earning like 100,000, 200,000 a year, and you also have a net worth, your assets add up to like $1 million, something like that. So that's where I'll stop it here because it doesn't encapsulate most of us. But if you're out there, first of all, you're high net worth and you don't want to hold actual cryptocurrencies, and you want another company to do it for you, to hold these sort of makeshift value prepositions, then go ahead and go for that. But hey, it's exciting, I'm sure, for the Solana ecosystem to be listed by these centralized custodians, or rather, well, institutions that are doing this. Whatever is happening in the crypto space, whatever kind of adoption, it's good for the whole space, regardless of who's adopting. That's a beautiful thing about cryptocurrencies. There's no segregation. Whether you're an institution, whether you're the lowest at the lowest level of the echelons, you'll still be, or whether you're bourgeoisie or proletariat, you'll still be accepted in the space no matter what. So everything for crypto adoption is good for crypto adoption. So the last thing that I want to talk about today is 3 Ethereum competitors explode as layer 1 altcoins outperform Bitcoin and overall cryptocurrencies. Of course, I'm not going to go into the details of the metrics of these things because we all know price. These markets are very irrational. They're very young. There's all kinds of price manipulation that happens, but there's certain cryptocurrencies that have maintained their price. They may not be in this article. Things like Mana, the one governing the decentralized ecosystem. But in this article, they specifically mentioned BNB, which of course has done a tremendous amount of, I don't know, it has really helped this ecosystem grow because DeFi has been explored properly because of the Binance ecosystem. Ethereum is way too expensive, and people using Ethereum right now are those that can afford it, which are like 20% of the global population or less, like 10% or 5%. because the fees are extremely ridiculous. So we have Binance Coin listed here. We have Polygon Matic listed here, obviously. Guys, for obvious reason, Polygon Matic is doing well because for obvious reasons. If you want me to state them, you can comment in the section, but you can see adoption with OpenSea, Decentraland, with so many other ecosystems, with unstoppable domains. You also mint your names using the Polygon network. I think the Polygon network is building that extremely important traction, and it's still centralized like all other layer 2 technologies. Innately, they're centralized because the technology is extremely new, but it's serving a purpose, and it's serving a proper purpose, and it's getting in there slowly by slowly. Is taking over as the Ethereum scaling solution of choice. Okay, they also go on to talk about Terra Luna. Of course, you know the whole world is bullish on Terra because of the ability to mint stablecoins, regardless of some governments requested, or rather wants to force these people to delist some tokens, but that didn't work. These tokens are still there. So Terra Luna, a lot of people are extremely excited about what the impact that they're doing, and this is also built on the Cosmos ecosystem. Those that do not know, Cosmos is one of the biggest blockchains out there that's fronting interoperability with their successful launch of the inter-blockchain communication protocol, which is really helping the whole narrative of interoperability. So this article also mentions Avalanche, Solana, Polkadot, those that have been around in the whole crypto space for a while. You know, these are some of the biggest names in terms of competition, in terms of looking to snatch that spot from Ethereum, or rather, even if they do not snatch it, but gaining that traction at least as much or even more than Ethereum got. But regardless, it's still a tough race out there. Bitcoin is up there, Ethereum is up there. It's all good for the ecosystem. Whatever attention goes to the crypto space, it's good for it. There's no such thing as bad publicity. All right, guys, that's all I want to talk about today. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye, guys.